Hey, Toby, we're going live. Who do you want to do a shout out to?
I would like to do a shout out to all my friends in the LGBT community who are struggling right now, and anybody who is a POC cosplayer who is also struggling, and just anybody in general who needs help. And a close personal friend of mine who runs a blog called Today I Grew Up, which is about Buzz Lightyear and toys from the 90s.
Awesome. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest today, Toby. And I just have to tell you a little bit about Toby. Toby is a huge Naruto cosplayer that was bullied because of his love of cosplay. And he decided to go off on his own and help other bullied cosplayers. He finally branched out and started to cheer up all types of people who were rejected and bullied by their friends and family. He works with two charities. One is PFLAG, and another one is called Frosted Faces. And he's also a major supporter of the LGBTQ community. He also runs a travel blog called Toby's Adventures. So, welcome, Toby. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Yay!
Toby, you travel all over the place. Like, where have you gone in your adventures?
One of my favorite places was probably the Walmart. I go
Walmart.
in there and I just like to sit with the toys.
And do the other toys talk to you when you go in and talk to them?
They do. I've actually met some minion friends and a bunch of baby Yodas.
Excellent. So you got into cosplay because you were bullied coming up as a cosplayer, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so as being bullied, what did you experience? What kind of things did you experience? And what made you want to get out and help other people?
I saw a lot of people just being judged on things they can't control. I got fat and I couldn't fit into some of my costumes anymore. And then people just started to not like you because of how you looked.
Uh,
And due to that, I just decided that there's just so many more people out there who were suffering from the same problems.
well, you look fantastic, and I love your cosplay outfit that you have on right now. So I understand that you've actually run into some famous people while you're actually doing your cosplay and you've been in your travels. Who have you run into?
Oh, I ran into Funko Mike. He signed me. Everybody was getting their Funko Pops signed, and he signed me instead. And Neil Kaplan is a very, very nice person, and he does one of the voices in my favorite show. And he signed me on the top of my hair.
I think that is awesome. So when you work with people, I know you've traveled around the country, around the world. What are the things that you do when you get to the locations that you get to?
So when I get to a location, what I will do is I will just walk around and look at things, but sometimes I'll just go talk to people. Some people are down on their luck, and if you just talk to them, just having somebody talk to them cheers them up. And then when I talk to them, I like to give out things that might make them happy.
Excellent. You also get letters from people, right?
Yeah, I had about let's see, about 10 fan mails, and they people will write to me and want me to help them, and I will answer their questions.
And so what kind of questions do people say to you, or they ask you? What kind of problems do people have?
There was one that was just so sweet. There was a little girl who had wrote a letter to me, and she was just having trouble because her friends had abandoned her. She was basically in middle school, and her friends just abandoned her to go be with another group of friends, and she was very lonely. So I tried to cheer her up as much as I could, and I wrote her back. And then I gave her one of my special Toby keychains.
Oh, that is awesome. So when you write them back, do you start up like a pen pal relationship with the people that you're talking to?
Yeah, usually they do. They'll keep writing me, and it's funny because a lot of people like to interact basically through letters more than the current technology that's out there with the PMs and the DMs and all of that stuff. People find it more personal when they get a letter back.
So you actually have an address and people will write to that address handwritten letters.
Yeah, it's a PO box right now.
Okay. How do you decide the places that you're going to go and help people? What draws you to a location?
So what draws me to a location will probably be basically the types of people. Sometimes there's conventions. I like to go to the small conventions where there are cosplayers. A lot of I'll probably say is the anime scene too, because that's where I'm from of my cosplay. But sometimes it's just relaxing. I'll get invited to things. I got invited to several of the D23 member events, which were
Mm-hmm.
very fun. That's where Disney will hold these little events for D23. But currently, what happens is I get a lot in the community. A lot of small businesses will message me, and I'll go to their business, and then I
Oh,
will promote their business on my Instagram.
excellent. Yeah, I think what you're doing is fantastic, getting out there and actually helping people and making them try and feel better and go like, hey, you're not bad, you're a good person, and forget all those other people who are trying to put you down.
That's what I wanted to try to do because, especially in the cosplay scene, it's a lot of people will leave it because they feel bullied. But all you have to do is show them that there are people out there that still like to do cosplay, and they just need to be with people that love them.
Now, from your experience, why is it that other people bully cosplayers? I mean, they're living their lives and they're doing what they want to do. Why do people bully cosplayers?
I'm gonna say that it's more an internal thing right now, a struggle that's happening internally with the scene and the when the basically when it got really really popular, all of the cosplayers now are using that because they want to be like the bigger cosplayers like Yaya Han or Jessica Nagiri because they want to make money doing it rather than just having fun.
Ah,
So what happens in the cosplay scene a lot is that you get bullied because you might know so and so and have contacts like say when I get to go to certain Disney events, but then that cosplayer might just be friends with you just because you get to go to those events. And then
gotcha.
and then from there if you can't give that to them anymore, then they just ditch you and it hurts a lot.
Now, do you get or did you get more bullied from people on the cosplay scene or people who were, outside of the cosplay scene and watching you have fun doing what you do?
I'm going to say probably more internal because it's just how everybody's treating each other to try and get fame off of each other now. Outside, back early in the 2000s, it was more people outside of the community. But there are certain communities that do get bullied a lot, like the fursuiters, the furries. I went to one of those and it's just a different type of costuming and people are having fun. There was no reason for anybody to bully them. And that's the hard part is people just need to leave people alone if they're not hurting anybody.
I've been to like the Comic Cons, like San Diego Comic Con is amazing. And I've seen the work and the amount of effort that it goes into putting together costumes. And as a photographer, I was just amazed taking pictures of people in their costumes. And why anyone would want to hurt anyone else in those positions just is beyond me.
Yeah, that's why I just didn't understand that either. And I think a lot of it is more still an internal struggle with the community in general. It's hard because it used to be a place where you would just build a costume. It didn't matter how it looked. Nobody would judge you for their skin color or how if you had gained some weight or anything. But nowadays, everybody judges you on do you look like that character? Do you
Wow.
Are you like, if you're too big, you can't be in that costume? And it's just gotten to the point where you can't just wear something and have fun anymore.
That is astounding. I didn't even know that was a thing because it used to be back in the day, the cosplayers themselves were the the people being bullied, but I never thought it would get to the point where the people who are cosplaying would bully other cosplayers. And that makes me upset. That makes me sad.
It is. It's very sad, and you can see it happening a lot in the cosplay scene because everybody wants to be famous. Toby wanted to be famous at one point, but
I think you are getting to be famous, Toby.
I just wanted to be famous by helping people.
And tell us one of the stories of people that you've actually helped and that were really down and you got them to feel better about themselves in the cosplay world.
So there was this one girl, and I met her at actually one of the D23 events I went to,
Mhm.
and we it was a Lilo and Stitch event, and it was a barbecue, and it was really fun. And after the barbecue, we ran into each other, and we just started talking. And she told me about her problems in the cosplay scene, and she was so sad because she was showing me all of her costumes and everything that she liked to wear, and she was like me, she had put on some weight, and she had been bullied by people because of her weight gain. So I just started to talk to her, and I told her, I had said, "I am just here to have fun, and I think your cosplays look wonderful." And then
Awesome.
I invited her to come with me to Anime Expo because I had an extra ticket, and she was just so happy, and she had so much fun, and we had a lot of fun there.
Are people starting to recognize you and the help that you're providing the cosplay universe with the non-bullying?
Yeah, it's starting to take off a little bit because people see me at a convention, and then they go, "Oh, it's Toby." Because what I do at conventions is if they do see me and they take a picture with me, I do give them one of my special keychains.
Awesome. And did they do with the keychain? Should they put their car keys on it? Does the keychain open up a magical portal? What does the keychain do?
So with the keychain, what'll happen, we're still planning this, but Toby will have some very YouTube videos in the future and a website. And then if you have one of the keychains, eventually I want to do some fun things where I'll have a booth at the conventions. And if you have one of the keychains, then you get a free gift, like
Oh,
a Funko Pop or something really neat.
that's amazing. So, do you ever see people dressed up as you at the conventions?
Oh, that is really fun. Yeah, I've ran into about 5 people so far that are dressed like me, and I always run up to them and say, "It's me," and then they, hold me and take a photo with me.
Oh, that's awesome. So, if you were to tell the cosplay community anything right now, and you were in front of a 5,000 people, and you're up on stage and you're talking to them about bullying and cosplay, what would you say to them right now?
I would probably tell them that we are all just geeks and nerds, and we're all having fun. You're not going to get famous on this. It's a lot of hard work if you want to be an Instagram personality or any of those social media personalities. They work day and night, and they have to do a lot more than just cosplaying. So don't hurt your friends because you need to be famous. Just think
That's
of cosplay as a hobby, and it is something that everybody, every body type, anybody can enjoy. It's not something that should be full of elitism or any of that stuff. It's just a fun hobby.
Toby, I think that's a message that doesn't apply just to cosplay. That's a universal message. And I think people in music, in art, in photography, in anything should listen to that message, have oneness and have funness. I guess that's a word right there, oneness and funness. And so people can get in touch with you. You've got several ways. You've got Instagram, there's your Toby's Adventures. And then we also have a way to get in touch with you on Facebook at Toby's Adventures. And we can also get in touch with your charities, the Frosted Faces Foundation. I think that's amazing. Those are senior dogs that you're working with there, right?
Yeah, and it's really sad because a lot of people don't know this. A lot of senior dogs get dumped at the shelter, and
Yes.
they never see a home after that, and they pass at the shelter. So
Um,
what my charity does is we go in and we will adopt those dogs, foster them in homes, and then find them a home until they pass on.
Oh, that is amazing. That touches my heart right there. So the whole point of your mission, I guess, is to have people live a better world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And Toby, we're gonna have to have you on again. Like, I want to find out where you go next, which dogs you've helped, which people you've helped, who's written you more letters, and maybe next time you come on, we'll like actually read some of those letters.
Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed this a lot. This is such an amazing show.
Well, thank you, and say goodbye to everyone, and we'll see you again very soon, Toby. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.